he's been going at it, with the same team, same
Yeah.
organization for 16 years, and highly invested. And look, I don't think he would have done that unless he felt like it was in good hands, which obviously it is in very good hands with just from the top down the leadership.
You partnered with Great Clips for a campaign called Dad's Back to School Playbook, and you're featured in a new commercial with your three sons. So tell me, how is it working with your sons in the commercial?
It was awesome. We had such a good time. Yeah, especially with my oldest Balin. I feel like has that maturity to where like when he knows, like when I tell him, hey, we get a chance to do a commercial together, and he's like, well, can I have a line in it? And like, man, I'll do a great job, and like I'll study up on it, and all that. Like, so it's just funny to watch the different personalities of your kids, and kind of who steps up and who wants to have that role and that responsibility. But yeah, I mean, that's at the end of the day, I remember as a kid, like those moments with my dad where, especially when it was like the back to school haircut, like that was a big deal, right? You're getting ready for the new year. There's that excitement. There's that nervousness of, going into that next grade, or maybe you're changing schools or whatever it is. And, just feeling like, gosh, I got to look good, and there was just that whole orchestration of, getting up on that early Saturday morning or whatever it was, and going to get a haircut with my dad. So that was a bonding experience, and now I'm in a position where I have three boys and we get a chance to do that together. So that was really, really a cool opportunity with Great Clips. And obviously that's a big confidence boost for the kids going into back to school.
I bet. And it's kind of hard to believe that the kids are going back to school. It just seemed like a summer break started like weeks ago. But how are your kids getting ready for the new school year?
Well, we're trying to get as much fun in as we can this summer. I know it's been a hot summer, really across the country, but you're getting a lot of beach time. My kids are really into skimboarding right now. So my wife and I spend a lot of time just sitting back at the beach, watching them just go at it on the skimboards. So that's been a lot of fun. Honestly, I just love seeing them active. I love seeing them engaged. I love seeing them, whether it's playing with each other or with their friends. We're in a position with our three boys where they're so close in age, 13, 11, and 9. Our 9-year-old is turning 10 here pretty soon, where, I mean, they're like their own little wolf pack, and they just, they kind of step into the scene or a situation. They're just like, all right, man, let's go dominate. Like this is it's kind of a fun thing to see, just the way that they're wired.
Absolutely. And, going back to your days when you were going to school, did you have any unique or different hairstyles when you were in middle school or high school?
No, it's funny you bring that up, because I was pretty, like, first off, I had real blonde hair when I was a kid. So I was either buzz cut. I mean, literally like probably like a one guard, just, the whole head. But when I started getting to middle school, that's when you start paying a little more attention to your hair, right? So it's like, I got to kind of have this wave going over the side, And then you get a little older, you start losing your hair, and then it's like, all right, how do I cover up the bald spots? But no, my boys love, my two older boys have the long hair. And then my youngest son, 𝐿𝐴LLyn, is kind of more like me in the way that he wears his hair. He likes it nice, high and tight on the sides with just kind of comb to the side. But then my two oldest ones, they're middle school now. So it's a lot of like, we got to have, the kind of the long bangs here, and kind of have, look cool. They always want lines in their head, especially if they're like playing sports and it's something that they can do with their teammates. It's like, hey, let's all get a design, So I don't know, that these are like the constant, conversations that you're having throughout the year when it comes to haircuts.
So what are some of the other things, now that you have retired, what are some of the other things that you've been doing specifically with your family in terms of activities, since you have more time now since your NFL career is over?
Well, we're doing a lot of traveling. I think the kids are at that age where I think we want to try to expose them to as much as we can, and feel like they're ready for even international traveling. We haven't done that yet with them, but we're really wanting to.
Mhm.
Obviously sports and just team or club affiliations. I think that's just good for their overall growth development. So much of what we're thinking now, I think as parents, is just, how do you equip your kids, for this world, and, instilling morals and values in them that, will sustain them, because our kids have so many, I think, pressures and distractions and things, in their life right now.
Yeah.
And so I think as a parent, you just want to equip them with the tools to be able to go out in this world and be successful and be great humans, and, treat others with dignity and respect, and, understand that, hard work is what earns you opportunities and gets you places. And, just always being very, very grateful as well, being good, young Christian people that, care about others and want to make this world a better place.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. And when it comes to you, I understand that you just bought a Major League Pickleball team. I remember writing a story about how fast growing sport pickleball is. So what do you think? What is it about pickleball that makes it so popular?
To me, the greatest thing about pickleball, it is so inclusive. No matter how old you are, what your athletic ability is, whether you've ever played a racket sport in your life, it is something that can just bring people together. And like we could go pick two other people, and regardless of how good or bad or what, like, we could find a way to create a really fun pickleball game. And it doesn't take up a lot of space. I mean, you could fit 4 pickleball courts on the same space that you fit a tennis court. You can just line it in the street. And so to me, it's something that can really bring people together. And in a way, it's a little bit of like the great equalizer. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gone out on the court with two, 70-year-old people thinking, okay, we're just going to mop the floor with these guys. And all this next thing you know, they're just running circles around you. And you're like, wait a minute, so there's just, there's a skill, there's a finesse, there's touch, there's, ball placement. It's not a power game. It's really more of a patient game.
Right.
But at the same time, it's something where you can get a great workout. You can have a lot of fun with your friends or with others doing it. And I think as you get up into the professional ranks, which is obviously what Major League Pickleball is, it's a team concept. So what I love about MLP is, we have a draft once a year. And so our team was drafted back about a month and a half ago. And then they go and play in events against the other 12 teams, or total of 12 teams in the league. And it's so much fun with that engagement. It's co-ed, right? So 2 men, 2 women on a team. You play men's doubles, women's doubles, mixed doubles. And then you've got a kind of a singles sudden death tiebreaker if it gets to that in these tournaments, which is just so much fun to watch. And you feel like as a fan, as you're watching, you're right on top of the action. You can hear a lot of what's happening, the communication and just kind of the banter. And it's a lot of fun, and it's a great workout as well. Yeah. So there's a reason why it's taking the country by storm, and that you see all these pickleball courts popping up, tennis facilities, turning into pickleball. It's just a ton of fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. And another question I want to ask you is, obviously the NFL, there's less than 50 days away before the start of the 2022 season. I just want to get your thoughts on the Saints. It looks like Jameis Winston is going to be the quarterback. They added some new weapons, Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave. What are your thoughts on the Saints this upcoming season?
I think they're going to be really good. I think they've got a lot of explosive firepower on offense. I think defensively, they've got incredible leadership and really great talent as well. I think Demario Davis as the leader of that defense, and Cam Jordan, guys that played a lot of football, been there a long time. I think they've been holding that down for quite a while now. And then you add pieces like Tyrann Mathieu and some others. Those guys are going to be stout. I mean, I just think there's an attitude there that, they feel like, they can stop anybody, and they can.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're poised and ready. Sean Payton obviously stepped away this offseason. Dennis Allen, who was the defensive coordinator there, is now the head coach. I think he'll do a great job. So I think all in all, they're poised to have a lot of success.
And speaking of Sean Payton, he's obviously moved on from the Saints. Looks like he's now going to work for Fox Sports. Were you surprised to hear the news of him stepping down? It looked like he was going to be coaching there forever, but were you surprised to see him step away from coaching for a little bit?
No, I think when you step back, I mean, even just within 24 hours of the decision, I felt like I understood, why he did it. I absolutely think he'll coach again. But look, he's been going at it, with the same team, same organization for 16 years, and highly invested. And look, I don't think he would have done that unless he felt like it was in good hands, which obviously it is in very good hands, with just from the top down, the leadership, from owner to GM to the new head coach and everything, and obviously the players that were in place and leadership there. But look, I think Sean's a guy who loves the game of football, and I think he's going to be around it for a while, in some capacity. But yeah, I think the fan base is very appreciative to Sean Payton for certainly his contributions and what he helped to create there. The culture change really from back when we all got there in 2006 until now. And I think the road that they're on now to have continued success.
Absolutely. And the last question for me before I let you go is one of the big stories of the offseason was Tom Brady retiring and then coming back 5 weeks later. He's going to play at least one more season. Were you more surprised to see him retire because you're still playing at a high level, or just to see him unretire?
I had a feeling that it probably wasn't. It wasn't really a retirement, social media post. It was a thank you to the fans, which is obviously, I know Tom well enough to know that he's always going to take that approach. Just that when he left, same thing when he left New England, you kind of pour your heart out to the fans, let them know how much you appreciate them and your teammates and everything. But I didn't get the feeling that it was a retirement social media post. I think he's one of those guys that we kind of came up together. We played against each other in college and obviously a bunch in the pros. I think we both made statements maybe 10 years ago or so that we felt like we could play till 45, which unfortunately, I think my shoulder injury, from 2006 ended up, finally catching up with me. But, he's his ability to take care of his body and sustain, a very, very high level of performance. You felt like, playing till 45 is very realistic. Well, guess what? He's going to turn 45 here, I think, pretty soon.
Yeah.
So I think he's just fulfilling the path that he laid out 10 years ago.
He absolutely is. Well, Drew, thank you so much for the time. I really do appreciate it. Congratulations on the commercial and good luck on everything. Continued success to you.